Today, officials in Italy announced nearly 3,500 new cases and more than 680 new deaths. Those are, of course, gruesome, awful numbers. Italy continues to be one of the countries hardest hit by the virus. But charted along with the rest of the data from the outbreak in that country, it really is starting to look like the curve is flattening, is bending in Italy. It is a hopeful sign, in a weird way, and an indication that there might be some sort of light at the end of this tunnel. The problem with what we are going through right now, all of us here in the US, the social distancing, the staying at home, the homeschooling, your kids on Zoom, telling other kids to mute, the shutting down of businesses, all the emotional and economic pain that comes with all that, is that the numbers of cases and deaths are just continuing to tick up. And that is because there's a lag between what we are doing collectively as a society and when we actually get to see its effect. And that lag could be anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks. We don't really know. But we are actually able to get a bit of interesting insight into what is happening right now, the frontier of that, thanks to this company you may have seen called Kinsa that makes these smart thermometers. And they've started publishing the data collected off the thermometers. Now, obviously, this is not comprehensive by any means, but it is interesting data. By looking at where and when people are getting fevers, one of the most common symptoms of coronavirus, we might be able to start to see some results from recent interventions without having to wait for that lag. So here's an example from Dallas. This graph is measuring atypical fevers recorded by people using that smart thermometer in the area. And 48 hours after the mayor ordered bars and restaurants to close, you can see the number of atypical fevers went down sharply right there after March 17th. Same graph for San Francisco, where they locked down early last Monday, March 16th. And again, we see a steep decline in atypical fevers starting right after that. So based on this data, those early interventions, those calls for social distancing, they do seem to be doing something, having an effect, working. And that is some promising news in the fight against this brutally nasty virus.